Two verses for you which will hopefully help you today. If you're not a Christian, listen to this one. This is in the Bible and it says this: "For by Jesus all things have been created, all things that are in heaven and on earth, all things invisible, all things visible, whether they are thrones or dominions or powers or principalities or builders making noise next door just as I press record. All things were created by Jesus or through Jesus and for Jesus." So remember that one as we come to another one in the Bible, another verse which says this is in Timothy: "Command those who are rich in this present age not to be haughty, nor to trust in uncertain riches, but in the living God, who gives us richly all things to enjoy." And I read those two verses because the first one's like, everything good in your life is from Jesus. And I want us to think about that today, like properly think about it. And the second verse, "Command those who are rich in this present age not to trust in riches, but in the living God, who gives us all things richly," that teaches us God gives you stuff, good stuff in your life. So that's basically saying the first verse again. He gives you things today to enjoy. So it's actually disobedient if the sum of your Christian life today isn't going to be enjoying things in your life, like just earthy things. If you think that's non-spiritual, you haven't quite understood that verse. You've got things in your life to enjoy, and therefore it's God-honoring and Jesus-centered if you actually smile today and enjoy stuff around you. And of course, the other thing those verses teach us is the misuse of those idols, if they become idols, is the sin. We're not to turn and trust in those things, but in the living God who's given us those things. So Jesus brings us out of slavery, like all the way through the Old Testament, he does that, to the Father. He redeems us and forgives us to do what? Now live the life. I've redeemed you from Egypt and slavery. Therefore, now have no other gods before me, and start living the proper human life. If I could put it like this, the message of the Bible is this: don't normalize that which is special. Don't normalize that which is special. And if you are not in hell today, it's a good day. It's a day you don't deserve. And not only are you not in hell, you are surrounded by the kindness of your best friend Jesus. Not only has he made you right with God if you're trusting in him, and he's given you church family, he's given you, especially if you're in the West watching this, he has given you an unbelievable, unprecedented in world history amount of comforts and securities. Don't normalize the special. If I could illustrate it like this, I play fantasy football on the mobile phone, and I'm in a league with some people in, my friends in a church in London. I'm in a couple in London, but one I win every single year. I like unstoppable. I think I even won the Heath Church one. Don't tell Ian Swan, but I think I beat him this year. Anyway, I noticed in the early years when I would win the London League, like I would get texts saying, "Oh, well done, Owen, you've won the Fantasy Football League." Fantasy football, by the way, for those like over 90, you pick a football team, and then when football players play in real life, they earn points and it gets transferred to your league that you're in and all that stuff. You could play against your friends. Anyway, when I used to win, it was like special. They saw the talent involved in winning a fantasy football league, and they would email me, "Oh, well done, Owen, that's special." But I've noticed as the years have gone on, they don't text or email or anything anymore. Like, what's that about? It's as special now as it always has been, to the effort and tactical nous to win a fantasy football league. but they don't recognize anymore. They've normalized the special. All right. It's a serious point, though. Don't normalize everything that's special in your life today. So in my church, I've got people that wake up early and open the doors of the church when that was allowed, and we're going to be allowed soon. Like people who wake up early, go turn the lights on, make sure the heating's all right. That's special, isn't it? That we've got people looking out for that. In lockdown, we've had people doing shopping for other human beings. Jesus has put friends in our lives, even though we don't deserve anything, to look after us, body, mind, and soul. You've probably got people in your lives that are praying for you. They have been made by Jesus. They're for Jesus, but he's directed them to help you. If you get a toothache at the moment in the West, you can make a phone call and go see a doctor probably that day. This virus hasn't wiped out planet Earth, but Jesus would have been well within his rights to allow it. And actually they're working on vaccines. Like the graces of God in our lives. Do you have food in the fridge today? It's only because your best friend Jesus has invented someone who invented fridges and then allowed you to earn money to get the fridge, put it in your kitchen, go to the shop and choose from an aisle of variation what you want to then go in your fridge, and there it is. And you can stand up after this talk and go and eat some food. Like, there's a high percent of people on planet Earth at the moment who don't have that privilege. So do not be today a snobby, westernized sinner. Be a Jesus-centered Christian who realizes that we have no better friend than Jesus.